If they actually decommission the Dragon, how will those astronauts on the ISS currently ever get back?
Well, you had three smart financial guys ahead of me, so I don't have to talk about that. I will give you the rocket scientist's response to what you just said. The Home Alone kid. I mean, really? I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's like America really does rely on this rocket to get its astronauts up and back, and all these other things, the commercial satellites at DoD, and he's just going to start turning things off because of a food fight with the President of the United States. Okay, didn't expect that news today.
For our radio audience, I should note, Keith just made a very terrified
that was pretty
face
effective.
on our air. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Home Alone 4, I guess, is what we have here. I don't even know what to ask, to be really honest here, Keith. How about we just get to procedure? We're always interested in policy here on Bloomberg. Does he have the legal grounds to do this? Can he just pull the plug on this spacecraft?
In a normal universe where no, but in the one we're in now, where the president can seemingly exercise unusual abilities to turn universities off and to make agencies disappear, they may try to do this. This would be very injurious to America's commercial space sector, and more so eventually to the defense industry. So I don't know, perhaps somebody will talk him out of this. Maybe they'll go have lunch. I don't know. But I would be very surprised if what both men are saying will actually come to pass.
Okay, well, fair enough. If it does, though, is there any private or public entity that is able to fill the SpaceX void, Keith?
No. This is a one. There's no backup here. There's no other way to get people into space that's even going to be functional for many years from now. So this is a one-trick pony. You tell it to go away, and you're not going to get people going up to the space station. And once they come home, that's it. Unless we go with the Russians, and that's not exactly an option these days.
Oh, well. That would be an interesting part of this program. We know that Elon Musk has spent quite a bit of time talking to Vladimir Putin over the last year. With that said, though, does this help to preserve the Artemis program? Does Boeing have a new leg up in the space business?
Well, the Boeing spacecraft has so many problems. I really doubt that they would, if SpaceX suddenly said we're not flying Dragons, that they would just go to the Boeing spacecraft, because they already have issues with that. So that's a non-starter. Yeah. Buying some seats in the Soyuz spacecraft, we have a couple of Americans going up. That's only a trickle to what we would have. Wow. But add in the fact that this administration is now dialing down the space station's utilization, and they want to cancel a bunch of other stuff. So this is a big hornet's nest. I mean, you've really poked at it from 10 different directions in this online food fight. I suspect that when it settles out, they will move on to bigger things that they can argue with each other about.
Well, when we consider bigger things, Keith, if this doesn't get sorted out quickly, how far does it set back efforts to get to Mars?
Well, apparently right now the thought is, when you say go to Mars, and Elon Musk's name is in the same sentence, that we're talking about the Starship, the giant rocket that they're launching from Florida. Those launches are controlled to some extent by the FAA, and the guy at the FAA works for Mr. Trump, so he could just say, no more of that. And they're going to use one of these SpaceX Starships to land on the moon. He could say, well, we don't want to do that. I'm sure Elon would like to go to Mars on his own dime, but get government funding for the rest of it. Mr. Trump could say, no, we're not going to do that. Mr. Bezos, my new friend, I don't know. This is all, who knows?